Greetings, fellow gamers. Two of the biggest games of the year, Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty Ghosts, have come out on current gen consoles. I had the luxury of getting Call of Duty Ghosts for free, and yet when playing the games at Eurogamer, the game I was more hyped for was Battlefield. Why? Because the teamwork and the evolution really intrigued me. The comparison is usually made between the two games, but they really do play differently. One is more focused on infantry and squads in smaller, tighter maps, while the other is more focused on vehicles and the destruction of the environment in much larger, expansive maps. I'm not going to be drawn into a debate of which game is better, because that's down to personal preference. What I will say is that I'm enjoying Battlefield so much more. Coming to Battlefield from Call of Duty is a jarring experience, as you suddenly get shunted away from this fast-paced, actiony, arcadey twitch shooter to this methodical, cautious, teamwork-heavy shooter, and for me it's not that bad. I personally really enjoy teamwork-based games like Left 4 Dead, the whole reason why I got an Xbox 360 in the first place. You probably could then ask, okay, if you love teamwork games so much, why didn't you play Battlefield 3? Simple answer, no customizable controls. Slightly more complicated answer, I was too used to using the B button for crouching and going prone, and it got annoying throwing a grenade every time I wanted to crouch. Plus I came into it a little bit too late into the life cycle, and it felt like everyone was already miles ahead, so it wasn't that fun. I might go back one of these days, but yeah. Battlefield 4 on release date was a glitch-ridden mess. Problems with the iron sight, game freezes, unable to join friends game, especially as they removed the squad system from the previous game for some strange reason. Magazine clips disappearing when reloading, problems with the double XP not activating, games not saving, and many more. Did this make it a bad game? Nah, far from it. Battlefield still ran just fine when it wanted to, and it made for unbelievably fun games, especially when partying up with friends. I played Team Deathmatch and Domination with Mikey, Jack and David, and we've had great fun with the destructive elements and the maps being smaller due to it being Team Deathmatch. So the common complaint that, oh, it takes too long to find an enemy to kill isn't really a problem here, and is majorly offset by the changing of the spot button. The spot button now being right bumper R1 as opposed to the back button makes spotting an enemy 1,000 times easier, and allows you to contribute to the team so much more, and will make finding enemies on maps that much easier. In fact, it's that good that whenever I play Call of Duty now, I'm now instinctively reaching for the right bumper every time I spot an enemy in the distance that I can't quite kill, especially on that god-awful Stonehaven map. After I realise that I can't, I just think, well, that's one of my teammates about to die then. See, it's this sort of information that saves virtual lives. Call of Duty does do automatic callouts, but it just doesn't have the same effectiveness as Battlefield's spotting system. The evolution and destruction really is a wondrous sight to behold, and I don't know why, but I rarely feel disgusted when I die, because a lot of the times I'm just like, wow. Sure, it can be annoying getting killed at the hands of a sniper perched on top of the building, but how can you really complain about snipers doing what they're supposed to do? Credit where credit is due. Another type of death that never ceases to amaze me is whenever I'm facing off in a gunfight and I take cover to reload my gun, and in the middle of it an explosive goes off near my cover and destroys it, and suddenly I'm caught in no man's land. It really highlights how the environment and cover is only temporary, so it forces you to be smarter with reloading, taking cover and even how you're going to approach a situation, especially if you decide rather than go around it, you're going to break the walls down. The weapons I'm still getting used to, and I mainly just use the default one with some changes to the grips, but unlocking other weapons to try out is taking a bit of time and can be quite slow, but I haven't really felt the urge to stray too far away from the default AKs. The maps are brilliant, and I'm really enjoying Parcel Storm's map, where you're playing clear skies, but the map eventually changes to this stormfest with rainy and windy conditions. The same with Siege of Shanghai, when you're fighting on top of a skyscraper and battling for control of the flag, when suddenly the screen starts shaking and rumbling, and then it becomes a race to jump off the building before it comes tumbling down, and it's an amazing sight to behold, which makes me impressed with the game so much more. Now, I'm playing this on current gen consoles, and it is a bit limited in terms of graphic and player count, with next gen consoles and PCs boasting 64 player matches and in 60 frames per second, but it's enjoyable in 30 frames per second as well, and I've had no shortage of moments I've greatly enjoyed. Like I said earlier, spotting someone in the distance and seeing squad bonus is awesome. Another was goofing around on one map and climbing an incredibly long ladder climb, which would rival Metal Gear Solid's Snake Eater's ladder climb if it wasn't for the frequent stops. Once getting to the top, it was hilarious seeing David spawn on me, and the bemusement in his voice when he had no clue where he just spawned, and then just jumping off the large structure after all the effort it took to get up there. Now that was fun. The single player is, well, I wouldn't know, seeing as the game sees fit to just delete my save after I've gotten quite a way in it, which really bugged me. This game severely could do with a patch fixing some of the major problems and glitches in the game, but alas, we shall see how long it takes DICE to come up with something. The game right now is really enjoyable for me, even when I'm playing by myself, which is great, and this has actually made me want to purchase a PS4, Xbox One, so I can experience it in 60 frames and have more players, but alas, I also have sense, so I won't be doing that anytime soon. I think if I had to sum up Battlefield 4 in one word, it'd probably be